people that have registered. And thank you to everyone for joining live. My name is Jess Fabian, and I have the honour of leading our South Australian team. We have around 400 consultants, and some of you have joined our call today. So, welcome to everyone. And thank you for your time today. I'd love to thank our presenters for their time and effort as well. I think I'll go around the room. We've got Mel coming up first on the screen. Mel Hornby, thank you from Mixing and Stitching. And I'll just let those extra people coming in the door. Oh, there's a few more. We have Jacquie Young. Thank you, Mel, if you can let everyone else in. Didn't know it was going to be this busy. Jacquie Young from ThermAdore. She's going to be cooking up our beautiful brined chicken, which will be amazing. We have Michelle Boyd coming up here. Adelaide, beautiful, lovely to have you on, Michelle, our resident chef, one of our resident chefs with Thermomix. We have Tennille. Where's Tennille? Wave to me. There we go. Beautiful Tennille making some beautiful sweets. So we're going to see exactly how to make some of these easy and delicious and impressive things to make your Christmas and festive time a lot easier, a lot more delicious, and a lot more fun. So let's get going. What we will do is start over. So we're all of South Australia. Our presenters are from all of South Australia. And we're going to jump over to Jacquie Young first. And we're going to start with the orange brined chicken recipe. And Jacquie's from down the southern area of Adelaide.
Hey, well, thank you for joining me down in sunny Aldinga Beach. It's the sunniest it's been in a couple of weeks. Today we're going to do orange brine. It comes out as orange brine turkey, but actually I'm going to have a little cheat because I'm just doing it a little bit smaller. Otherwise, my whole family will be eating turkey for the next 4 weeks and then onwards after that. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to talk about brining. So look, I don't know whether anybody has ever gone into brining or whatever. Quite a lot of butchers and the like, they inject with water and that to make sure that, you know, the meat stays tender and fresh and whatever. However, in all of that, what we're going to do is we're just going to go straight into making the brine. I'll talk while we're doing it. If we can just have a look at the screen there.
Yep.
And just tell me in the chat. It'd be great to see whether people actually have done some sort of brining in the past. Essentially, what it is, I'm just going to get the brine out now. Is oops. This is my brining pot. And over there, we have, I'm just going to show you this here.
Wow.
Yeah. That is the brine. Now, the chicken has been sat in this brine for over 24 hours. We're going to whiz it up just really, really quickly. We've used orange, which we've peeled and whatever with a peeler. We've got the juice sorted out. As you've seen, we're going to go for micro chicken here. It's actually a little turkey, a little chicken, micro turkey. Oh, there we go. And what we're going to do is just really quickly throw the garlic in. I put a really small, really large garlic in there. So I've only put one in. There's the parsley.
Now the screen's quite zoomed up for us, Jacquie. Your iPad might have tried to help us. Can it go out a tad, just in case there's something we're missing on the screen? Yeah, beautiful. Then we can see this.
Is that better?
I think so.
So as you can see, I've done this with a vegetable peeler. Just taken the peel off one of the oranges. And we're just going to pop that in and chop it all up for 7 seconds, if I can get the lid on.
Working
Oh,
backwards is sometimes tricky. It's a skill that consultants learn, isn't it? So there we go.
there we go. So in the brine we're going to do, and like I say, I'm just whacking through this hopefully really quickly because the recipe will tell you it takes 29 hours. It takes about 5 seconds when you're throwing everything in. Salt. If people are a bit salt averse or whatever, salt is the preservative in this, all right? So whilst I am a person who tends to skip quite a lot of salt, this time I'm going to put the full 90 grams in because that's the important thing. Brine, essentially, is salt water. Okay, then we're going to put maple syrup in here. Oopsie daisies, where are we? Yeah,
I
there we
love
go.
I love our 1 gram precision scales that have come up there, Jackie.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. And then we're going to go for, if I can see this, just 100 and, sorry, a litre and a half of water. Now, just to really quickly talk to you about the water there, I'm only going to put in 800 or so because I actually want to freeze this up for later because, as I say, we've brined this already. Right, there's the reserve orange juice there. And that will just cook for 10 minutes. Now, I'm just going to show you, really quickly. I won't put it on to cook. I'm going to show you the one here. So the secrets of brining are this. Make sure that you cover the turkey completely, all right? If that means putting extra water in or whatever, do that. And also make sure that that's kept cool for the full 24 hours. That really, really important. Just because you're brining it doesn't mean to say that it doesn't need to be kept cool. I've put it in the fridge there. If you struggle, put a whole load of ice in, but don't skip the water and whatever, because that's actually what seeps in, really gives it that beautiful flavour. I'm just going to show you one more time. That is how we are, okay? So, there. What I'm going to do is going to move really quickly on because, as I say, what we're doing is 29 hours in 10 minutes. So we're just going to skip the cook. We've set that aside to cool. And like I say, we've poured the brine over and we've left it in there. So we have removed the chicken, the turkey, and we've patted that down. And it's actually been sat there for an hour. So just to like let it settle down, get itself sorted out. Oops.
Beautiful.
So
So the Thermomix is cooking that brine, and then once it's done, you've popped it in that big saucepan overnight.
that's right. Yeah, that's
Beautiful.
exactly right. And it's just infusing all those wonderful flavors.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So then it talks about throwing away the brine. That's going to be an obvious thing to do because you've left raw chicken in there. So don't even think about keeping it.
Mm-hmm.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the stuffing. Again, the stuffing is rice rather than bread, as you can see there. And so I've done this again. Sorry, but it would take us 25 minutes to cook the rice. So we're just spinning it through there. All we've done is we've put it in
And
the. So I'm sorry.
what did you find when you were cooking rice, Jackie, with the TM7 up on speed 4?
Yeah.
And I love cooking rice in the Thermomix, but speed 4 is quite it makes quite a sound, doesn't it, with our Thermomixes. And but what did you find with the TM7 when you cooked the rice in terms of
Oh,
the
certainly.
sound?
It was a lot quieter. I was surprised at doing it at speed 4, to be honest. But what we've got is a really lovely, I don't know whether we can actually see that up there, but you know,
Beautiful.
it's a beautiful, it's not stuck together or whatever. Some of that's about it being brown rice as well. Don't think about using white rice because it would get too gluggy, if you like.
Right.
Okay, so we've got that cooling off. And then what we're going to do is
I'd love to hear if there is anyone who hasn't made rice in their Thermomix. Something that I do multiple times a week and love it. Love to hear if there's anyone who hasn't tried it yet. It could be a good reason to reach out to your consultant and get their best tips as well. And I
so
love
what
that.
we're going to do is we're going to do a very, very simple um, stuffing now.
Yep.
I'm going to put the brown onions in here and the garlic cloves, 2 garlic cloves. Whoops. These are ones I peeled earlier. 3 garlic cloves. And where are we? We will have
Beautiful.
parsley.
Beautiful. I love how the ingredients are all coming up on that same screen as
Oh,
well. Makes it
absolutely.
handy.
Yep. Yep. So we'll put the remaining bit of the orange in there
Yep.
and we'll just chop it up again. Oops.
Chopping. So if there's anyone on the call that has never seen a Thermomix before, imagine how it would be if you could chop things in what 3 seconds. Let's take a look at what Jackie's got.
There you go.
Oh, so
So nobody likes chopping onions, especially me.
beautiful.
Where are we? So we're just going to pop that butter in there.
Yep. So a beautiful stuffing for your chicken. So after you've let it soak in that beautiful brine overnight, then you make the stuffing when it's and pop it in when it's cool. Is that right?
That's exactly right. Yes. So look, I think I wanted to do this recipe today. I'm just going to put this on the cook and then we'll talk a little bit. I wanted to do this recipe today because number one, people find turkey really boring at Christmas. Look, you can mess about with the brine. It doesn't have to be an orange brine turkey. You know, you can do a bit of lemon or whatever if that's what you'd like to do. But I would say to you, you know, if you're going to brine any sort of, if you're going to barbecue any sort of fowl at Christmas, think about brining. Think about doing it 24 hours beforehand, particularly if you're getting a free range chicken or turkey or something like that, because those good old butchers, the good country butchers, will not go and put all that water in and everything else. But you do need that bit of that bit of moisture and everything in there to make it just beautiful. Now, where are we? Oh, we're going through here. Yeah, we're going to go for 2 minutes here. I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the sensor here.
Yep, just a sec.
So the other thing, the 2 things that have saved me at Christmas for years. Number one, getting the brine right, because everybody always says, oh, I hate dry turkey, and this was beautiful and moist. And the second thing is the sensor. Now, sensor is I'm going to call it an upgrade from the Meter Plus, if anybody's got one of those, but exactly the same system. As you can see, this is a meat thermometer. You pop it into, I don't know whether we can actually see it there. There's a line there. Just pop it in there. And then it will talk. At the moment, it's talking to my mobile phone. But just if we find out when the release was, when it starts to talk to the TM7.
Very soon, any day now, I'm sure.
Very, very soon. And that's one of the nice things about the software releases as they come through. So it
Mm,
talks to the 6 at the moment. It will talk to the 7 soon.
beautiful.
And at that particular point, fantastic, absolutely fantastic, because I'll tell you, one year I'd calculated that my turkey was going to take 4 hours in the barbecue, and actually it took 2.5. And my turkey would have been crisp because I wouldn't have looked at it that early. Okay, so absolutely, really, really pleased. I earned this as a consultant because I'm from Yorkshire, and I'd have thought, oh, I'm not sure about spending that money, but worth its weight in gold. Absolutely
Beautiful.
fantastic. And you can use that for chicken, and for bread and all sorts of stuff. Great in the barbecue, great in the oven. I cannot live without it, just saying to you. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. And there we go. So now we're just going to put the currants and the sausages in there. Now, again, sausages. You can make life as easy and as hard for yourself as possible. I would say, to start off with, just get some sausage meat or skin some sausages, any flavour you like. I like to use pork because there's a lot of fat in there. But if you want to make your own sausage meat, the Thermomix police are not going to knock on your door and say, don't do that. They're going to say, oh, yes, do it. I'd love to see you making things. Here we go. Cooled rice goes in there like that.
This is going to be delicious.
Oh, look, it is really, really nice. And, you know, if you get gluten-free sausages, you've actually got a gluten-free stuffing. And just remember that it's a mix and match. So if you want to do a cranberry and whatever stuffing, you can think about maybe brining it with some cranberries in or something like that. You know, get a bit creative. This is your Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is your stuffing. Okay, so let's just recap. We've got this chicken here. We're going to pop the stuffing up there. It's been brined. What do you want to do? You want to glaze it over, don't you? Now, I won't take up too much more time, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to say to you, the glaze is even easier. Soy sauce, 4 cloves, and more maple syrup, and you get this. You see that? 15 minutes. You might want to reduce it further. I quite like it a little bit runny so I can splash it all over that. Don't hesitate. I've found, and I've made this recipe for 2 or 3 years now, 20, 25 minutes. But look, you can make that beforehand as well. And then you can marinate it and keep going. Okay,
So does this particular recipe step you through that next step of the glaze?
it does. Here
And
we
it
go.
cooks it down nice and
So if you have that, look there, and it just tells you, pop all those things in. Your mayo, what am I talking about?
No
Maple
worries.
syrup, soy sauce, whatever.
Yep. And it
And
cooks
then, like
it
I say, but you know,
lovely.
this is guided cooking. This is not dictated cooking. If
Mm-hmm.
you want to put it in for longer,
Yep.
you can do that. Okay,
Beautiful. And that's how we'll thicken it. Lovely. Awesome.
absolutely. There we go.
Thank you. And then what do we do with our chicken? You're going to pop that in the oven next with the sensor.
So what I'll do is right at the very end, once I've stuffed it and
Mm-hmm.
sort of glazed it and everything, because some of these things can be a little bit tedious, and we've only got an hour. But I'll do all that, and right at the end, I will show you the chicken with the sensor
Beautiful.
stuck in it,
Yep.
ready to pop in that barbecue for your
Yep.
Christmas dinner.
Thank you. That is so inspiring. I've never seen a segment like this. So thank you for sharing with us how to do beautiful tender chicken without any of those additives that they might put in other places. Thank you so much, Jacquie.
Absolutely. All right. Cheers.
Awesome. And we're going to be jumping over to the other side of Adelaide to see Michelle Boyd.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our festive class. Do you love fresh bread? Because I do, and I don't want to fight the shops on Christmas Eve, and I don't want to go to the servo to get bread on Christmas Day, so I always make my own. So what we're going to be doing tonight is the Pesto Tear and Share Christmas tree bread. So I'm going to make the pesto and then show you how to actually cut it into strips like the recipe there. But first of all, here is my dough. So it's an enriched dough. It has butter, egg, and milk in it, which makes it an enriched dough. So therefore, it's more tender, it's softer. I found it more bouncy. So I reckon I'll be using this recipe for scrolls as well. So a hot tip, use a shower cap on your bowl. And it works treat. There is a dough. I've just got to punch that down and roll that out. But I am going to show you how to make the pesto. If we swap to the iPad, you will see. There we go. Who else likes to make their own bread? I've actually taken out some of the white flour and put in some wholemeal baker's flour just to give it a little bit more healthy benefits to it. So we're going to grate our Parmesan cheese, and I've got extra in here because I want to sprinkle some Parmesan on the top, which is in the hints. If you ever scroll down to the bottom of the recipe, there will quite often be some hints there. So that's what we do. And of course, we all grate our own cheese because of the anti-caking agent in you can see I haven't done this for a while. In the anti-caking agent to do that. Yep, that's what I want to do. Start.
So good. So good that we can avoid those additives in this dish as well, in the cheese, as well as what Jackie was talking about too. So I've just popped in the chat the recipe for us.
And of course, put your measuring cup on. So yeah, there is a cheese, which is there.
Wow. So was that like a Parmesan, did you say?
Yeah, well,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm just taking some
Beautiful.
out just to save for the top. And then we're going to scrape down, yeah. Then we're going to add in garlic. So 2 cloves of garlic, baby spinach and basil. So they're in together. And just to make it, it's not in the recipe, but a hot tip to make your pesto stay green is a little bit of lemon. Pop that in there. And also keep your leaves cold so that it doesn't go brown. I have done it with beetroot leaves and it went a really slushy brown, so I don't recommend that.
Thanks for that tip, because I was wondering, would that work as well? Like if you're making pesto for a pasta salad,
Yeah,
you should wait for the pasta to cool down and use the lemon juice.
Yeah, because basil can go, if you put hot stuff on a basil leaf, it'll go brown.
Like, yeah, that's what happens to mine. So thanks for the tip.
To cold leaves and a little bit of lemon juice, and it will stay nice and green for you. It doesn't really matter this much recipe in because we're going to cook it pretty much straight away anyway.
Yep.
Right, and then 70 ml or roundabout of extra virgin olive oil. And yes, I will add the salt. I found it needed it. But if you're Parmesan or whatever you choose, you can use pecorino, any kind of hard cheese. You can use, instead of walnuts, you can use almonds or pine nuts. That's a really flexible recipe, pesto. And you can use it so many things. You can put it in pasta, like you said. You can put it on toast with tomato, like make a bruschetta kind of situation. 20 seconds there to blend all that up.
Beautiful. So I love how I could see the lid locking mechanism coming into play here. So up above speed 2, our Thermomix locks its lid automatically with the hidden locking mechanism in there, and it's doing all that work. So that's up at speed 7, I think it is, for 20 seconds. Let's see what it looks like.
Wait for that to release. And there we go. Oh, you can't see on that one.
Pretty green. That's cool. Yeah.
And yes. So we're scraping it down.
Do you want me to change to your view?
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. You can see how green that is.
Yeah.
And you could have doubled that recipe. make it your own, which is what Thermomix cooking is all about. Jackie mentioned the Thermomix, but
Yes. That's it. And I noticed your spatula. Are you loving the longer spatula so you can scrape more
I
out?
am. I certainly am, and it stands up. So
Hmm. Yeah. Do you like standing it up, or do you usually put it up the other way?
um,
Or a bit of both.
I normally do a bit of both. Yeah, standing up.
There you go.
Still got the book in there for the simmering basket, so it's nice and
Yeah,
safe for the hot hands. Anywho,
beautiful. How quick was that?
there is the
Um,
pesto.
yep,
So I'm going to take my dough here,
yep.
and then I'm going to roll that out, cut it in half, roll it out, and then I will be back later on in the show to show you how to make it a Christmas tree, and make it look a bit fancy.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. Because we can all be fancy cooks and fancy chefs this festive season with the help of our Thermomix, can't we?
We certainly can. And in fact, that's the reason I bought my Thermomix was I'd done chef training and I just wanted to be a little bit more creative at my home cooking.
I love that. Thank you so much, Michelle. We'll come back and see you. And we're going to fly over this time, not just drive. We're going to fly over to see Mel Hornby from Mixing and Stitching. Thanks, Mel.
Hello, how you going, everyone? Merry Christmas. Alrighty, we're going to make the coleslaw using the cutter. So there are a couple of recipes on Cookie Dough that we can use, and one of them is the cutter. So if you haven't seen the cutter before, this is the cutter mechanism. So this guy goes into our Thermomix, and we've got a cutter. So thick and thin on one side, thick, grate and thick slice on one side, and thick and thin slice on the other side. We also have our little spindle, and this is really key to making sure that you take this out. So it's the number one tip when you own a cutter is make sure that you take this out once you finish. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop it into our on top of our blades and just seat it right there. With the TM7 cutter, it is a little bit different to the TM5 or 6 cutter, and you want to make sure that the little locking mechanism or the spout is on the handle side. Alrighty. I'm going to also start the recipe. Now, there is a couple of ways you can do it. You can do this off the modes, and I know I said I wasn't, but I think I'm going to because I can't pay attention very well today. I have weighed everything out, so I'm just going to cruise on forward. And we're doing the slicing first, I believe. Yes, slicing. So for me, I can't remember the grey or the charcoal. I always just look whatever's the sharpest side. That's just me. So I'm going to pop that in, and then we're going to pop our lid on. Now, doing it sideways can be a bit tricky. And we're going to slice our cabbage first. So it sets itself for a minute. Obviously, I don't have that lid on properly. There we go. Because I haven't used it very much. Just a little
So
bit.
did you get yours recently? Because it's not very common. We can't buy those yet, can we?
No. So it is a consultant purse that I got recently. And I just haven't actually pulled my finger out and used it.
Well, that's good. Good you're getting a go tonight.
Yes, this is actually the first time I've used this one.
Yep.
It's really no different to the TM6 one. However, the locking mechanism is different for the lid because we have that magnetic locking system. So this, because I'm not paying attention, Abby just jumping out at me.
No worries.
But I'm useless at finely dicing things. I'm not very good at portion control. So for me, the slicer and grater is really, really key to get an even slice on things. Alrighty, so we stop that now, and we're going to go to the next portion of the recipe. Pop that into a salad bowl. Now I'm going to be using the thermoserver. So this is the 2.7 litre thermoserver as my serving dish today. We're having a barbecue. My husband just poked inside to actually pick up some meat, and that's my salad ready to go. Okay, or the salad. It's
Wow. That was
But
so
look how
quick.
quickly
Wow.
fine that is.
Beautiful. So
Way more yeah.
you've
In
done
less than
that
a
on
minute.
a thin slice for that one. Was that a thin slice? Yep.
Correct. That's thin slice. Normally,
Wow.
if I thought about that, I would have done that over the bowl, but you know, I'm a little bit out of practice.
Oh, good. Now that sounds
All
looks
right, so we're placing that back on, and we are then going to be grating our onion. Sorry, not grating, we're slicing our onion.
And I love that you said, of course you can use this manually and you know how to use a Thermomix manually. And if anyone wants to learn more, they can ask their consultant to teach more. But tonight, just because things are pretty busy, you've decided to use the guided recipe to assist you. I love that we can choose to do what's going to work for us on that day.
And for me, I have a problem with like paying attention to what I'm doing. So I could have actually sliced the carrot instead of grated the carrot. So that's why I'm using the guided cooking. If I was only doing one thing like potatoes, I probably would have just used the manual mode. So for me, this is the onion. So it's super, super thin. And again, this is thin slicing of the onion. So now what we're going to do is we're going to invert it because I hate grating. I'm going to say that right now. I absolutely hate grating. So I'm going to put the grating side up now. And pop my lid back on. And we're going to grate our carrot. Now, remembering we do want to make sure that we start the blades before we put our vegetables in, particularly hard vegetables like carrot and apple. And my tip for grating cheese is make sure it's super cold and it has come straight out of the fridge. Alrighty, now we're going to put the apple in. And we're going to be doing the thick version of the apple. So I'll show you that carrot.
Yep.
Quickly. There's our carrot. So lovely and thin grate.
Nice.
So it's a little bit thinner than the box grate, but not as thick. Like when the thick version of the grate is not as thick as the box grate. I think I said that right.
I think so. Sounds correct. And that's great that you can get those different textures and different sizes as well. So you can choose what you prefer. You might like the carrot bigger and you would choose a thicker one. So everyone can choose.
So this is the one of the host rewards that we've got at the moment is the cutter, slicer and spiralizer. So I also have the spiralizer here. I can show you in a second. But this is the thick grate of the apple. So you can kind of imagine that as carrot as well. For big salads and so forth, I generally do my carrot on the thick, but I quite like it thin for this particular dish. It just gives a little bit more of a delicate flavour.
Beautiful.
Alrighty, and then I've gone ahead. I'll just quickly rinse this hand.
So that's
Sorry.
Oh no, I was going to help you out while you're washing your hand, but you didn't need it. You were super quick.
Super quick. I've just made some mayonnaise and I've popped it in one of our jars here. There's probably a tiny bit of oil because I measured my oil out in the bottom of this jar. But this is the cooked mayonnaise. And it calls for about 3 tablespoons. I have put in some Dijon, some seeded mustard, and a couple of garlic cloves in when making the cooked mayonnaise. It's my favourite. It lasts a lot longer than traditional mayonnaise where it's just a raw egg. And so it's obviously safe for those who need to be mindful of raw egg and so forth. So I'm just going to toss this together. And there's just the outside of the onion that I'm just going to pick out. And I'm just going to give this a lovely stir, and we're going to have this for dinner tonight with our barbecue. Oh, now, as I mentioned, this is one of the host rewards that we have. You also get the spiralizer. So the spiralizer can do like your zoodles and also your ribbons. And at the moment, you can choose between the cutter and slicer and the 2.7 litre thermoserver. The thermoserver is really good because I travelled Australia with 2 thermoservers and the lids on them were okay. I couldn't stack anything on them very well. They did kind of slip around. But these are great because we do have this silicone little gadget that goes underneath the thermoserver, and it also has a rubber seal in there as well to help with locking that lid on if you're moving things around that are liquid. But here is my coleslaw. And I'm just going to serve up, probably need to toss it a little bit better, but you can obviously put as much or as little mayonnaise on as you would like. But I'll just give you a little. So can you imagine this in like pulled beef, pulled pork, something along those lines. And that's what we're looking at for our serving of
Beautiful.
coleslaw. So that is a little bit different to the traditional Thermomix one where we pop it all in and blitz it up.
Yeah.
We can do a traditional grate and traditional slice.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that, and super helpful for people that haven't seen the cutter in action. And like you said, you can choose if you want to do the quick and easy 5-second coleslaw where it's all together, where you get the beautiful diamond shape coleslaw, or you can choose to do what people, what people traditionally have with their coleslaw and grated like that now with our
without a box grater and without losing your knuckles. It's great.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Mel, and enjoy your barbecue with your family tonight. And we will see you a bit later on. I think we're doing a drink.
Yes, we're doing a drink, so stick around, guys.
See you soon. And we're going to fly back over to the Riverlands now with Tennille.
Hello, how are we? My machine's about to turn itself off. Sorry. Okay, so I am going to be showing you guys how to make your own sweetened condensed milk. As you can see here, I've got some caramel fudge, which is the Chloe's caramel fudge recipe. And the reason I wanted to showcase this is because it's a really great gift to make for people. But we're going to get started with our recipe. I'm just trying to make it so that you guys can see me as well. Okay, so this recipe is so super easy, and I'm going to be making it with my butter that I made myself with cream out of the Thermomix. As we all know, it is going to do the measurements for us. That's just about perfect.
That butter's so yellow, Tennille.
Yeah, it is so delicious. And I've made it quite a few times, and it's really cool, especially if you use buttermilk in recipes often as well, because you can save your buttermilk from your cream. Sorry, I can't. From making, when you do make it. So
yeah, beautiful. I love doing making butter, and then, like you said, using the buttermilk in banana bread and other cooking for sure.
So we've got the butter and the water in there, and it is going to heat for 3 minutes on speed 2. All right, so that's going to do its thing. And whilst that does its thing, the reason I wanted to show this recipe is because coming into Christmas, I think we often like to get gifts or give gifts to, say, teachers or our friends that we wouldn't usually necessarily buy a big gift for. And I've found making homemade gifts, I really, really quite enjoy it, and everybody loves receiving it. That personalized touch, and you can obviously have a little play with them, make little reindeers if you want to for Christmas, or you can make it just as the fudge I did. Anyways, I'll find that. But the awesome thing about making the fudge is you can make all your ingredients for the fudge, besides from obviously the chocolate itself, in your Thermomix. So this is a condensed milk that I have made earlier, and I will continue to make that. And I also made the golden syrup as well myself with the Thermomix. I just wanted to speak to how amazing it is to be able to make our own condiments like this by having a few pantry staples. It's pretty awesome. And I was pretty impressed when I made it myself. And the recipe makes more than what a store-bought can, what you get in a store-bought can as well.
Really simple ingredients too, Tennille. So super handy if you don't want to have to get in the car and go and buy these things.
And I think it's really great to be able to have, especially so where we live in the Riverland, I don't have just access to the supermarket all the time. I'm originally from Victoria, and I got quite used to being able to duck down to the supermarket pretty much until 10 p.m. every night, and it would be open every single day. Some areas it's even more, but we don't have that luxury here. And so having those pantry staples that you know that you need in these ingredients, you can, like, I've even got molasses in my pantry now to make my own brown sugar.
Mhm.
So yeah, super exciting, and also as we said earlier, everybody has different things that they look for, but I also like to know what the ingredients of what's going into our cooking, and I do find a lot of pantry staple items these days, the more we buy that's pre-done for us, the more additives and things they're sneaking into them that I prefer to keep out of our kitchen.
Definitely. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
And just another benefit of having our Thermomix, isn't it?
Yes,
Knowing
absolutely.
exactly what's in your food.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm absolutely loving all the extra cooking that I'm doing with my TM7 since I've done my upgrade from my 5. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so
Awesome.
we're doing our next steps, which is our raw sugar. So usually I've just popped some in here. I didn't weigh it, so I am going to still, I'll just show you. Sorry. There's the melted
Yeah.
butter. It is
Easy.
difficult doing it side on, not from
A
not
good
from the front,
practice.
isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to measure this in. I didn't measure it earlier, so I don't want to just tip the whole thing in. Okay. So that was pretty well all of it anyways. Perfect.
And it's
As we
ticking
can see,
it.
it's ticking itself off, which is fabulous. I love that feature. And then we're going to add in our milk powder. Milk powder is something that I now have as a staple in my pantry because I also make our own yogurt now since that I have the Thermomix in our life, because again, how cool is it actually just to say that you've made your own yogurt? I think it's pretty cool.
Exactly. We'll be fine if there's ever an apocalypse. We've got our pantries full and we can make whatever we want to. And I love how
Sorry, yeah, you go.
excuse me. I love how it ticked itself off there and then re-teared. We've seen that happen a couple of times on the Thermomixes tonight. The little green things ticked itself off when we get it pretty close to the weight. And are you loving that new feature, Tennille? Like it
Yeah.
tears the scale back for the next item that you need to put in. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, it's up high. I'll chat for a little bit while it's mixing for a moment. But yeah, if you hadn't noticed that yet, guys, our TM7 will tick itself off when you get to the right weight or just a little bit over, which means it gives you time to go and get the next ingredient or go to the fridge and put something back, and then it's ready for you back on the 0 gram scales.
Sorry, guys. I was just doing the blend and it gets a bit loud, so I would have cut off there. But so that is ready, and we are literally done for our condensed milk. So that is
Wow.
so fast, and it makes the same amount that I had showed earlier. Sorry,
Yeah. That was so quick. Wow.
so quick, so easy, and yeah, with really decent pantry staples that you can use for multiple recipes. So it's not like you're going to buy them and never use them and they'll be in your pantry for ages. You will definitely use them. And I definitely think adding that milk powder to your pantry list is really great. And then you'll start your yogurt, you'll make your condensed milk and everything. But Jess, back to what you were saying with the self-ticking thing. I just want to quickly talk about the fact that I love that it does that for you. One, because you can obviously move on and get your next ingredients happening, and so it can be a bit more efficient. Two, I also love how when I do touch the screen, see, we've even got some condensed milk dripped on it, but it still works. And if you are even a little bit of maybe a messy cook like I am, or I don't know, I shouldn't even say messy, someone that's doing 100 things at once.
Busy cook.
I'm either parenting or making 5 things at once. You know, I will put something in and then I'll have flour on my hands or water and it will drip and I can still use it. Whereas when I was using my 5 all the time, that was something that became quite frustrating for me, was that I had to make sure that my screen was completely clean and dry for me to be able to press the buttons. Otherwise it would sometimes skip ahead on me. So I am loving the features of the fact that this screen does not do that.
Yeah, we've got multi-touch screen, which means that it's not going to, yeah, get stuck. You can still touch it with sticky hands. I love that.
Yeah. And I want to quickly remind everybody as well that the trade up offer is still available until the 8th of December. So don't forget that that's an option if you're looking to potentially upgrade and get your hands on our shiny new version over here.
Beautiful. So if anyone is interested in that offer, contact your consultant and they can get you a special purchasing link to make that happen. Now, with that condensed milk, then we just follow the recipe for the fudge and create that beautiful fudge that you've got there.
Yes, correct, 100%. And it is super easy. And whilst you guys are talking, I might even use my pre-done condensed milk and my golden syrup that I've made myself and quickly whip together a fudge to show you guys how quick and easy it really is.
Awesome. And look at that there. You've already got the little Rudolph fudge there. You've been making lots of batches for your end of year gifts.
Yeah, I just quickly want to
delicious.
show you.
And what we'll do next is jump over to you, Michelle, and have a look at shaping, and then we'll come.
Just
there we go.
Super quickly. I just want to show different gift options. These are just the smaller jars with a Christmas crunchy around it, and the girls are going to take these to school for their teachers.
Beautiful.
So yeah, just something super simple, easy, but thoughtful and homemade.
Thank you so much for sharing those golden tips about how we can create things from scratch at home this festive season. Thank you. Well done. I'm going to fly back over from the Riverlands. Oops, I've just muted you. Sorry, Michelle. Pressed the wrong button. You were so sorry. We're going to go over to here, replace screen. Sorry, that was my fault. I muted you, Michelle.
So what I did is I cut the dough in half, and then I used my Thermomat, which has the measurements on the side, to roll out. It's roughly about 33 by 22, but this is a Thermomat. It's from the mix shop. It is amazing. You can wrap your dough up in it to go to sleep and have a little rest. It's got the circles on it, so you can roll out to correct measurements. I did it with the rolling pin. So this is the French rolling pin, and you can go around. So not just linear up and down or this sideways. You can go around with this one. That's also in the mix shop. So here is my dough. Can you just push it back a little bit? Thank you. And yes, as I said, I put it in half, and you'll see the pesto is in the middle.
Ooh, yep.
All right, so we're going to make our Christmas tree. So I have the dough, I think it's called a bench scraper from the mix shop, and then you just very gently, because you don't want to cut the tray, which is also from the mix shop. I'm a walking mix shop ad here right now. And then we just do the trunk of the tree.
Oh, yes. And what do you do with that little bit, hey?
I'll show you a little bit.
Oh,
we don't waste anything.
Oh, good. Now, you said you're a walking mix shop advert. It's lucky that you are a consultant too, Michelle.
Absolutely, because you know what we get? We get a discount.
Awesome. All the beautiful things from the mix shop.
Things. So just be careful not to, press too hard. All right, and again, not going to waste this scrap here. There is our tree. Christmas tree. So then we just need to make the branches, and I'll just move the paper over. It is a little bit fiddly, but you'll be surprised at how good the end result is.
Yeah. And people could slide it off the tray if they wanted to do the cutting.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'll just do a few, and then I'll do the rest while we make the drink. But then you just want to grab it from the middle part. So you've left a gap, and you make the leaves on both sides. And then here at the middle, we just start to twist.
Right.
So if you've ever made a pesto, there's a pesto bread Another one, there's one in the shape of a sun, and there is a sweet version of that one as well. Do you remember what it's called, Jess?
There's a choc hazelnut
Oh, the Nutella
star,
one.
brioche star. The pizza sun is one of my favorites, and a recommendation if you want to impress people as well. It's very easy and impressive as well, like this one.
So you just keep going up the line like that
Hmm.
on the other side. And with our offcuts,
Yes.
I'll just show one. Get the map out. Just cut that in a line. And then we just do the twist on that as well. So again, not making sure you're not going through. You could use a pizza cutter. And so then just twist.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your offcut. You could
Ooh.
leave it like that. That's a really nice breadstick. Or you could make a snail.
Mm-hmm.
And there you've got, a fancy little roll.
Beautiful.
And it all fits on the same tray, on the extra large tray.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
I thought it might become tinsel on the Christmas tree.
No, laugh about the tinsel. But what I've got here is some red and green chili. And these
Ooh,
are my baubles. So then,
I love it.
really, what can I use green? I've used red on the one I'm going to show you soon. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
red and green chili. How cool is that? You might think of something else that
Yeah.
that is, will stay there. And one thing I will say is that I tried using sun-dried tomatoes and they did go a little bit black.
Okay. I was wondering if people could do a sun-dried tomato pesto filling or an
Oh,
olive
absolutely.
tapenade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Cute.
here is one I prepared earlier. That's a little snail that I made.
Uh-huh.
You sprinkle
Oh,
that with the leftover parmesan, and look at that.
yum.
That is our Christmas tree.
That,
It's going to be beautiful and fresh Christmas Day when you can't get supermarket bread. But you know
yeah.
exactly what's in it. I've actually used some wholemeal baker's flour, but you could use any kind of flour that you would normally use for bread.
Yeah.
Okay.
That looks amazing, Michelle. And because you've got two now happening, I'm just thinking for people prepping for Christmas, could they freeze the
Yeah,
uncooked
yeah, yeah,
Christmas tree?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just make sure that you're letting it come to room temperature, improving it for that second time.
Hmm.
Brush it with egg yolk and then put it in the oven till it's GBD, golden brown and delicious.
Oh, golden brown and delicious. Thank you so much, Michelle, for those awesome tips. And we'll come back once you finish twisting your Christmas tree and see what it looks like. Thank you. And we're going to make a festive drink to finish off our cooking before we see, I think maybe Jackie's chicken, perhaps. Back to you,
Alrighty,
Mel.
so we're going to make Rudolph's mocktail. Okay, you could obviously put a little bit of alcohol in there if you'd like. There's two ways you can do this. So the first way is to follow the traditional recipe on cookie dough. I like to be a little bit different. If you've seen me before, you'll understand why. This one does get you to make a syrup. So it calls for cranberries and sugar to make your syrup. Alternatively, you could do like a frozen cocktail, which is what I'm going to do today. So I've got I'm going to use the same ingredients, but I'm just not going to go through with the syrup side of things. So because we are running short on time now, I've got my frozen raspberries. I'm going to I'll start the recipe as such. Actually, no, I'm going to show you a trick. So I'm going to put my frozen raspberries in here. I have already pre-weighed this, so I did get ahead of myself. But what I wanted to show you is a really good tip is that if you didn't want to follow the recipe as per se, so for example, you didn't want to grate your cheese or you wanted to jump to a step, we can jump directly to a step on our TM7, which is an update that I really, really love. So for me, we're going to be jumping to step four of the assembly. And we're going to blitz up our ice and our frozen raspberries. So I'm not adding any extra sugar into this because my kids do not need sugar at this time of night. It's going to call for the ginger ale, but I'm not, hang on, I've skipped ahead too far. There we go. We want to scroll back and we want to set as the current step. And we're going to blitz this up.
Look Look at that
I
powerful.
have my little Rudolph decoration. Oh, I have my little Rudolph decoration that I've made with a cherry and a marshmallow. I had to buy a whole bag of marshmallow just for this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know, right? I hide them again. They will get churned up into something else. So having a quick look at this, I do want to give it an extra 4 seconds or a little bit longer. So I am going to go back a step and set as current step. And I'm probably just going to increase that speed a little bit. So we can adjust the speed settings even in a guided cooking. So I'm going to adjust that up to 6, speed 6.
Love to hear what other drinks people have made at Christmas time. Thermomix is so good for making drinks, right? At
It
festive time.
is. So if you can imagine that you're making your daiquiris or your any of your frozen drinks, this is what we're sort of looking at the moment, okay? I'm now going to pour in our 700 grams of ginger ale, or in my sense, ginger beer. And I'm probably just going to pour the whole lot because this isn't a litre, and whatever's left over, I'll just pop back into the bottle. So obviously cooking this down and making the syrup, it's making a sugar syrup with your raspberries. It's just flavouring that sugar syrup. But I didn't have time to do that today because my husband got back very late with the groceries. And now we're just going to mix that gently, okay? I'm going to give that a little bit of a blitz. And I'm just going to go back a step. Set as current step. Sorry, wrong one. This one here. And I'm just going to bring that down a little bit to probably about speed 2 because I don't want to lose all my fizz. I'm one by the ear a little bit. All
Yeah,
right.
be careful if it's fizzy.
I know, right? I don't want that all jumbled down. All right, this is looking delicious. There we go. Oops, I've got the wrong camera.
There we go. Yep.
There we go. Beautiful.
Yum.
I'm going to pour him into my little Christmas inspired glass.
Love that.
And I've got all that beautiful frozen fruit in there. And there is my super speedy Rudolph mocktail.
So cute.
And if you're smart, you'll put your name on your drink so nobody steals it.
So many good tips there. Thank you so much for sharing that. And Beck's popped the recipe into the chat for us. Thank you, Beck. So many different drinks we can do, and you've adapted that one to suit your needs and to suit our needs. Delicious.
So good. And you don't need to add sugar, so you can get away with not doing that with raspberries. It's really nice, really refreshing.
Excellent.
Good on a hot Christmas day.
Yep. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, and Merry Christmas to you, Mel. Now, what we're going to do is see our Christmas tree with you, Michelle. We're having a look at your kitchen now. You've made a few more little snails there, and you've got your Christmas tree. Sorry, there we. Oh, you've already finished it. Well done. That was quick. So some beautiful homemade creations that we've got here tonight from our presenters, and we've got Jacquie. Have we got our chicken to look at? Let's have a little look.
Here we go. So there you go. That's a chicken, as you can see. The sensors just up the back there, stuffed, glazed, beautiful. I've got some stuff in over because, of course, it's a small thing, but I'm going to freeze this and that will go up my turkey. And also, if you're into pre-preparing things, you will remember that I didn't put as much water in as I perhaps needed. But there you are. There's my brine ready for my turkey, my free-range turkey straight from the farm.
Beautiful.
It'll go straight in there, and that's a good start for my Christmas.
Oh, I'm so glad that we could help you start your Christmas, and you could help us start our Christmas, and good tips with the free range and getting them more succulent there with that brining. Thank you so much, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
We're going to jump over to you, Tennille. Are you making your fudge? There we go.
Yeah, I've done the steps, and it's literally got 5 minutes. And 20 seconds to go, so you don't have to
Beautiful.
stick around for that. But I just wanted to show how it is so simple and so easy. And I blitzed up at the start. These were whole pieces of white chocolate.
Mhm.
And the next step that they get us to do, which is here, is you scrape down the sides, and then it does cook for longer, and then you add in your reserved chocolate, and then it just whizzes it all in because it's been grated first. It melts pretty much straight away. And then you just pour it into a tray that's lined with baking paper, and it's ready in the morning. If you want it to be ready quicker, though, you can let it cool for 30 minutes on the bench at least, and then pop it in the fridge for 2 hours, and then it's ready to go. So if you're a last minute gal like me, you can do that.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your tips, Tennille, and coming on for the very first time in our class tonight. So well done, and Merry Christmas to you as well. And what we're going to do is have a quick look. We're going to send you all those recipes that we were focusing on tonight. And remember, we do have learning sessions available. They're free and they're with your consultant. So you can just reach out to your consultant if you need to learn more about cookie dough or meal planning, and they can help you. We also have some online sessions, but if you type in Christmas in here, you're going to get lots of ideas. On our website, we've also got some Christmas ideas. Reaching out to your consultant because they will have some great tips for you as well. Now, if you are watching the call and you would want to know about, well, what are the current offers with Thermomix? We've got this interesting bundle offer here. For $3,999, you can grab a TM6 refurbished and a TM7. So if you've got somebody who really wants a TM6 and you really want a TM7, this deal might be for you. So contact your consultant about that one. And we're super proud that we have been recommended by Choice just recently, the only all-in-one appliance that was recommended by Choice with their studies. And as you heard Mel tell us, we have the cutter as a host reward option right now until the 12th of January. So if you want to learn more about cookie dough or learn more about the modes or learn more about the cutter, etc., or even how to make a dough, that's what your consultant wants to teach you. So reach out and let them know you want to learn something about your Thermomix journey. And you can give two or three people the brilliant gift of showing them what the Thermomix can do, and you can then unlock host rewards. So talk to your consultant more about how that works, but you can choose the thermo server, which keeps your food hot and cold for many hours, or the cutter spiralizer attachment for your spiralizing and cutting and grating. So that one's a really good offer. And as Tennille mentioned, we still have trade up going on. So if you've got a previous model and you're ready to say goodbye to it, we do have a trade up. It's a buyback option. And contact your consultant because we've got buyback of TM31, TM5s, and TM6s as well. So that's on until the 8th of December. So contacting your consultant about that as well, they can give you the special link there. And if you want to join us and potentially in the future present at one of our classes like this in the future and have fun, or do regular demos, you want to be a consultant or earn your Thermomix, we do have an earning program and we'd love to tell you more about that. We can invite you to an info session to tell you more about that program, or you can stay on after this call and we can go through it together. With just 6 sales in your startup program, that's when you get your Thermomix for free, but every sale reduces the cost of your Thermomix. And that first sale, even if you make one sale, that's going to reduce the cost of your TM7 by $500. So we'd love to help you earn yours or earn a discount off reduction, off your TM7. And we'd love to have you part of our South Australian or Australian team, depending on where you live.
Jess, can I quickly just say something on the Earn program? Just quickly for anyone who would potentially like to consider it, but might be feeling a little bit nervous or that they might not be able to do it. I had a beautiful friend join Thermomix, and she was very much full of self-doubt, and she didn't think she would sell even one machine. And I just wanted to share that with hard work, and she did the reach outs, she did the conversations, and she asked all of the questions, and she found out what was important to them, and she put herself in uncomfortable situations, but she earned her Thermomix in 30 days. And this is someone who thought she wouldn't even be able to sell one. So I just wanted to share that we have 90 days to earn to sell those 6 machines. And yeah, you are really supported by your team leader. So I just wanted to share that for anyone who might be feeling a bit nervous.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Tennille. And shout out to you as well. You're still in your 90-day program. You're brand new yourself, and you have been inspiring people to start their own journeys as a customer or as a consultant. So well done to you as well. Incredible. And look, you're on this call presenting tonight. So well done. And thank you to everybody for presenting. We've got Mel, Michelle, and we had Jacquie and Tennille tonight. And we look forward to seeing you at future sessions. We have Cookie Dough info session as well as Mastering the Basics session. They're free online, and they're coming up next week on the 9th and the 10th of December. So we'll hope to see you there. Otherwise, reach out to your consultant for your next step in your customer journey, your Thermomix journey. Thank you, everyone. Happy Christmas, happy festivities. Thanks, guys. And if anyone does want to stay behind and hear about how you can get your TM7 on your bench, we can go through that as well. I'll just press pause on the recording. I think that's paused.